Hello, everybody. Welcome to DadPooL's Discussions. I'm your host, the one and only DadPooL, and today have we got a movie for you. If you can't tell by what's playing in the background or what my logo on the screen represents, uh, let me attempt to make that just a little bigger. Of course, we're talking about 1960 Psycho. And there's me, DadPooL, posing as Norman Bates in front of the Bates Motel. Just trying to have fun uh, with these movies, add a little extra, you know, comedic aspect to such a gruesome, horrifying movie. And like I said, yes, we are on day 12 of DadPooLoWeen, Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. Wow. This movie is probably it's in my top 5 of all time favorite movies. Alfred Hitchcock is a genius. Um, just the way he shoots a shot, cuts a scene, it's got to be perfect. It's got to be perfect. And if you haven't seen the uh, the documentary on Psycho, it's called 7852. It's playing right now on Pluto TV. Not a sponsor, but if you want to become a sponsor of Deadpool discussions, I mean, by all means, I love Pluto TV, and it's free. It's got a lot of different stations, a lot of content. You have cooking, you have international, you have movies, sci-fi, classic TV, comedy, kids, music. There's gaming on there. I mean, it's just nonstop, 24/7 action and viewing. But yeah, 7852, directed by Alexandre O'Philippe, came out in 2017. And the reason why it's called 7852, because it refers to the 78 setups and 52 cuts that make up the infamous shower scene in this movie Psycho. The documentary delves deep into the cultural significance and cinematic brilliance of this iconic scene. Let me tell you, it's not a good, it's a great watch. If you wanna watch Psycho and then pop on that documentary, that's a great night. That's, grab your popcorn, grab your snacks. It's a good viewing. 7852 explores the impact and influence of the shower scene in Psycho. It delves into the meticulous planning and execution of the sequence, dissecting every frame and cut. Like I said, that's a must watch if you're a Hitchcock fan, if you're a film student, or if you just you love movies in general. The documentary features interviews with a wide range of experts, including directors, editors, actors, and film historians. They provide valuable insights into Hitchcock's techniques, the scene's cultural context, and its lasting impact on the industry. Because if you don't think that shower scene is the most iconic in a movie ever, or at least up there, I don't know where you are on the planet. Um, this documentary breaks down the shower scene frame by frame, offering a detailed visual analysis. It discusses Hitchcock's innovative use of camera angles, lighting, music, highlighting how these elements contributed to the scene's lasting impact. Documentary goes beyond the technical aspects, delving into the cultural and societal impact of the shower scene. It examines how it challenged and subverted traditional cinematic and societal norms, especially regarding violence and sexuality. Um, yeah, it gives the focus on editing. The documentary itself is well edited. It employs a clever use of clips from various films to support the points being made, creating a sense of visual engagement throughout. The narrative structure of this documentary, it's structured like a thriller. It builds suspense as it analyzes each moment of the shower scene. This keeps the audience engaged and invested in the discussion. The documentary also highlights how the shower scene has been given homage in countless films and TV shows. It underscores its role as a cultural touchstone and its impact on subsequent horror and suspense cinema. The documentary received critical acclaim for its in depth exploration of a single cinematic moment and its attention to detail. It provides a fresh perspective on Hitchcock's legacy. It's like I said, it's something definitely to watch. It's masterful. It celebrates and dissects one of the cinema's most iconic scenes. It provides a deep, insightful, and engaging look at the shower scene from Psycho and its profound impact on film history and culture. If you have any interest in film analysis or Alfred Hitchcock or cinematic history, I do recommend you check it out. And like I said, it is on Pluto TV. But let's get into the movie that we're here for. We're here for Psycho 1960, the original, directed by Alfred Hitchcock, screenplay by Joseph Stefano, based on Psycho by Robert Bloch, starring Anthony Perkins, Vera Miles, John Gavin, Martin Balsam, John McIntyre, and of course, iconic Janet Leigh. This came out in June 16th in 1960 at a premiere in New York City. Nationwide, September 8th of the same year. It's about 109 minutes long. It has a budget of a little over $800,000, which is a lot for a movie at that time. And it made an astounding $50 million at the box office. So let's get into the meat and potatoes. Let's get into the plot of this movie about Marion Crane and Norman Bates. I'm just leave that picture up. I just love that look of Anthony Hopkins. Oh, not Anthony Hopkins. Oh my God. Oh, Anthony Perkins. I misspoke. Anthony Hopkins, totally different actor. But can you imagine Anthony Hopkins as Norman Bates? I bet you he could pull it off. But no, that's Anthony Perkins. During a Friday afternoon in a Phoenix hotel, real estate secretary Marion Crane and her boyfriend Sam Loomis discuss their inability to get married because of Sam's debts. Marion returns to work, steals $40,000, and sets off to drive to Sam's home in Fairvale, California. She pulls over and falls asleep and is woken up by a police officer the next morning. Her anxious behavior makes him question her motives, and he asks to see her license but lets her go. Marion hurriedly trades her car with Arizona plates for a car with California plates. She then stops for a night at the Bates Motel, located off the main highway, and hides the stolen money inside a newspaper. The owner, Norman Bates, descends from a large house overlooking the motel. And I think we all know what that iconic house looks like. If you don't, here's a picture. There's the house that overlooks the motel. Registers Marion under an alias and invites her to dine with him. After Norman returns to his house, Marion overhears him arguing with his mother about his wish to dine with Marion. Norman returns, apologizes for his mother's outburst, and discusses his hobby as a taxidermist, his mother's illness, and how people have a private trap. They want to escape Marion. They discuss about his hobby as a taxidermist, his mother's illness, and how people have a way to escape their private trap. Marion decides to drive back to Phoenix in the morning to return the stolen money. As she showers, again, the shower scene, a shadowy figure appears, and there's that iconic picture again, stabs her to death. And then we just see her just falling down, and it's just frame by frame. And this is why I say watch that 7852 documentary. It will put this scene and explain it. And you may think this is a simple 45-second scene. It's not. It had to be reshot, re-edited because it would, MPA ratings. Hitchcock didn't like a certain angle or a certain light. Like, that's just how he was. So definitely check out that documentary that follows along this scene in the movie. So Norman stabs her to death. Norman cleans up the murder scene, putting Marion's body and her belongings and the hidden cash. He didn't even know the cash was in the newspaper. Sinks it into the swamp. Then Marion's sister Lila arrives in Fairvale a week later, tells Sam about the theft, and demands to know what her whereabouts are. He denies knowing anything about her disappearance. A private investigator named Arbogast approaches them, saying that he has been hired to retrieve the money. He stops at the Bait Motel and questions Norman, whose nervous behavior and inconsistent answers arouse suspicion. He examines the guest register and discovers her handwriting that Marion spent the night at the motel. So when Arbogast learns that Marion had spoken to Norman's mother, he asks to speak to her, but Norman refuses to allow it. After he enters the Bates' home to search for Norman's mother, the shadowy figure emerges from the bedroom and stabs Arbogast to death. When Sam and Lila don't hear back from Arbogast, Sam goes to the motel to look for him. He sees a figure in the house who he assumes is Norman's mother. Lila and Sam alert the local sheriff, who tells them Norman's mother died in a murder-suicide by strychnine poisoning about 10 years prior. The sheriff suggests that Arbogast lied to Sam and Lila so he could pursue Marion and the money for his own personal gain. Convinced that something happened to Arbogast, Lila and Sam drive to the motel. Sam distracts Norman in the office while Lila sneaks into the house. Suspicious, Norman becomes agitated and knocks Sam unconscious. As he goes to the house, Lila hides in the fruit cellar where she discovers the mother's mummified body. She screams in horror, and Norman, wearing women's clothes and a wig, enters the cellar and tries to stab her. Very similar to what I'm wearing in this picture right here. Very similar. So Norman, wearing these clothes and the wig, enters the cellar, tries to stab her. Sam appears and subdues him. As at the police station, a psychiatrist explains that Norman killed his mother and her lover 10 years ago out of jealousy. And we'll talk about that as soon as we finish up with this recap of the movie. Unable to bear guilt, his mummified mother's corpse and began treating it as if she was still alive. So even after death, Norman pretended that his mother was still alive because that's the love and that's the relationship that they had. It seems weird, but like you almost sympathize with Norman, and I think you can because of the fact that how he loved his mom and wanted all just her attention, and because she was giving it to some other guy, he felt threatened. So his only reaction was eliminate the other attention. I'm not condoning it, but you kind of do sympathize. He recreated his mother as an alternate personality, as jealous and possessive towards Norman as he felt about his mother. When Norman is attracted to a woman, mother takes over. He had killed two other women before Marion and Arbogast. The psychiatrist concludes that mother has now submerged Norman's personality. Norman sits in a jail cell, and we get that iconic stare right here. And he hears his mother saying, "The murders were all his doing." And then Marion's car is retrieved from the swamp. I mean, this movie, again, black and white also. I love black and white features. Just something about that. I know people say, well, black and white hides a lot, but I think it also enhances a lot. It plays with your mind, like it's like the shower scene. We know it's blood. It doesn't look like blood because it's not red, but it's still terrifying to see that swirl down the drain. Or the knife attacks, which never actually struck. It's just the way the camera, and again, if you watch that 7852 documentary, it explains how they did the knife attacks. It's quite brilliant. Like, I'm telling you, I love Psycho for as long as I've been alive watching movies, but after I saw that documentary, I think my affinity for it has skyrocketed. It just doubled, triple, quadrupled because that documentary just showed me things, and I can't believe I was so late to the party watching it. This, like I said, this came out in 2017. I just saw it on Pluto about a month or two ago. It's so look it up. But with the good, there's always the bad. This movie spawned what, 3 sequels: Psycho 2, Psycho 3, Psycho 4. The beginning. Um, there was also a TV show, Bates Motel, which did a lot of the backstory of Norman and his mother. Um, thought it was okay. I mean, I'm not going to say it was the best series, but it was okay. I really enjoyed the remake though with Vince Vaughn as Norman Bates. That was a really good movie. That came out in like '98 with Anne Hesh and Julianne Moore. It was, to me, a good movie. Not great, but it was a good rendition of what they wanted to do. Um, but for me, I think if we're gonna take Psycho out of the equation, my favorite of the franchise is probably Psycho 2. Psycho 2 was a really good sequel. Probably one of the better sequels that you can ever have in a franchise. But again, my opinion, um, and film is subjective. So, what do you think? What's your favorite of the franchise for Psycho? Are you for the original? Are you for 2, 3, or 4, the TV series? Do you like the remake? Uh, Let me know. Sound off in the comments. I want to know what your take on this and the others are. I mean, that theme that's playing, Psycho theme. That's once you hear that chilling. I think it's strings and it's like you know it's Norman Bates. You know it's Psycho. You're expecting a knife to come at you in the shower. And I know some of my friends were even some of my female friends were terrified to take a shower after they saw this movie. You don't know how many times I pranked I pranked my girlfriends while they're in the shower and do this scene. It's funny. It's the same reaction, and I'm sure we've all done it at some point. That's how you know these movies stick with you when you're acting out some of these iconic scenes in a joking manner to just either a be a dick or b you're trying to really scare somebody. It's just funny. It's just funny. But yeah, day 12, Psycho, can't go wrong. It's a must watch during October. So let me know what your must watches are or must not watches. Are there movies that you love and hate? Sound off in the comments and I'll make a video about your movie. And if I could ask you also to please hit the like button, it does help. Share out the channel. Uh, Drop a sub if you're on YouTube. Drop a follow if you're watching on Twitter, X, or you're watching on Twitch or even Kick. A follow goes a long way. It's free. It's just like subs on YouTube are free. Sharing it out, again, free as well. If you know some friends that are into horror movies or just love a particular horror movie, share out what I've done. Bring them into the community. Let them know. Because not only for October, I'm also going to be doing this for Christmas as well. I'll be doing the 25 days of Christmas horror, where each day in December, as I am now for October, I'll be putting out a different holiday slasher, a dark theme holiday movie, like a quick 20-25 minute review, just to go over some of the key moments of the film, some of the key specs of the film, whether, budget, release, actors, actresses, directors, writers, such, maybe inspirations for the film. So yeah, so look forward for that starting December 1st. Also look, coming in a week or two, my new series, and I'm going to title this different, but the concept is reboot versus remakes, battling it out between, say, like 1980 Friday the 13th and 2009 Friday the 13th. Or maybe even like, Hellraiser versus the Hellraiser that came out on Hulu, or Texas Chainsaw Massacre 74 versus the Texas Chainsaw Massacre that came out with Jessica Biel. I'm putting a list together. I'm going to have a better title than reboot versus remakes, because I just don't like that. I'm going to think of something different. So yeah, what are your thoughts on that? Is there a certain series of that you want me to follow? Is there a reboot or remake that you love or hate, that maybe you want to see a video done on it? Let me know. But again, I just want to thank everyone for commenting, for participating in the chat, letting me know that you're liking these reviews so far, and just dropping that like button, smashing that like button. I appreciate it. It's I've come a long way. I've been battling a lot of difficult times, and it's just really good to know that people like what I'm doing, and as hard as it is right now, with one eye, to make this content, you never overvalue something, never take anything for granted, because I'm telling you, it's difficult. It's difficult. I just want to thank you guys, because you guys are here every day. You guys are in the comments. You guys are stopping by the streams when these go out. And you guys are sending me messages and outside of the platform, and I appreciate that. So stay tuned. Date tomorrow, day 13, Friday 13th. I mean, you can probably assume what movie tomorrow will be, but which movie will it be in the series? That you don't know. That may be a shocker tomorrow for you. So what you have to do is just make sure you hit that notification bell to know when that video is going to drop and what that video is going to be about. And if you follow me on TikTok, you'll know a day before, because I always put a TikTok out of what movie I'll be covering for the next day. So drop a follow over there. Follows are free. But I think we're at the end of the video. I think we're ready to head on out of here. This was like I said, day 12, 1960 Psycho. To me, a perfect movie, a great movie, one that should be etched in Mount Rushmore as one of the greatest movies of any genre ever. Hitchcock, one of the greatest directors ever. Mount Rushmore. So before I get out of here, I just want to ask you to do a couple things. One, watch a movie. It's that time. It's that time of the year. Watch a movie. Whatever you're into, whether it's sci-fi, drama, romance, comedy, animation, or even horror. Perfect month. Go watch a movie. They're accessible everywhere for free. And then also just hug your loved ones. And until the next video, I'll see you tomorrow. DadPooL out. Love you.